Good afternoon, everyone. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General. Thank you all for joining us today. Protecting the safety, health, and well-being of our communities and environment, that is a team effort. And in that spirit, before we begin, I want to thank and acknowledge numerous key partners and public servants who made today's announcement involving the 2021 Huntington Beach oil spill possible. First, allow me to indulge in a big thank you to Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer, a true fighter and champion for Orange County, for the OC, California Department of Fish and Wildlife Chief of Enforcement David Bess and his incredible team, and our partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office within the Central District. Secondly, we would not be standing here if it was not for my hardworking team at the California Department of Justice. There's a long list of names I want to recognize, public servants who work long days and long nights to secure justice for the people of California. They don't do it to be recognized or acknowledged. They don't do it for any of that. They do it because they know it's the right thing to do to deliver justice and right wrongs. But I'm going to acknowledge them anyway. Thank you to members of my team in the DOJ's Bureau of Investigation, including Paul Zarofsky, Special Agent, Michael Beavers, Special Agent, Sean Collins, Special Agent in Charge, Paul Ramirez, Special Agent Supervisor, and Stephen Woolery, Director. Thank you to our Special Prosecutions Unit, including Paul Sayo, Deputy Attorney General, Brett Morris, Supervising Deputy Attorney General, and Jim Root, Senior Assistant Attorney General. And lastly, in terms of my DOJ team, thank you to Lance Winters, Chief Assistant Attorney General for our Criminal Law Division, and Michael Redding, Special Assistant Attorney General. I also want to say a special recognition to some of the elected officials who are incredible champions for Orange County, who are here, been focused on and working on this issue. They won't make comments from the podium today, but they will be available for any pull-asides if you're interested, and I thank them for their partnership and their leadership. California State Senator Dave Min is here today. Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley is here as well, and Assembly Member Kadi Petrie-Norris, my recently former colleague in the California State Legislature. Less than a year ago, in early October, we all woke up to a horrific sight on the beach and on the news. Wetlands and coastline contaminated with clumps of black tar, fish dead, floating in the water, birds and hatchlings covered in a thick layer of petroleum. The oil spill that occurred off the coast of Orange County had a devastating toll on our wildlife and on our environment. It also had a human impact. Small businesses near the shoreline, restaurants, ice cream shops, surf shops, and commercial fishermen who all rely on California's pristine waters and beaches for their livelihoods, they were all impacted. As Attorney General, I swiftly activated our team at the Department of Justice and our considerable resources to get to the bottom of this, working with our partners at the federal level and here in Orange County. We announced an investigation, and now today, subject to the court's approval, we are announcing a meaningful and significant resolution and ensuring accountability and justice. Today, the California DOJ and the Orange County District Attorney's Office are filing half a dozen criminal charges against Amplify Energy, Beta Operating Company, and San Pedro Bay Pipeline, all collectively Amplify. The charges are the result of an investigation led by our offices and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Amplify will face these 6 criminal charges and pay the state nearly $5 million in penalties and fines for their misconduct. This is a historic sum, believed to be the largest state misdemeanor criminal fine in Orange County history. Additionally, Amplify will be placed on probation for 12 months. These are strong penalties, but let's be clear here. This spill should not have happened in the first place. Amplify's leak detection system worked, but Amplify failed to take appropriate action. No reports of a leak or potential leak were made for over 16 hours. Their actions were unacceptable. Amplify violated the law. As a result, approximately 25,000 gallons of petroleum was discharged before the spill was contained, shutting down local beaches. 116 live and dead birds were recovered by wildlife operations. and the full economic impact of the oil spill is still emerging. We are committed to making sure this does not happen again. The probation terms of the plea agreement include rigorous new requirements, including number one, Amplify must train and instruct employees to immediately notify and update all appropriate agencies of potential spills in compliance with California laws. Two, Amplify must install an improved leak detection system on its pipeline that utilizes the most advanced technology to provide the best protection against leaks. And finally, number three, Amplify must conduct additional operational safety measures, including biannual visual inspections of their pipeline. These strong terms, the nearly $5 million in penalties and fines, as well as the probation requirements, are all in addition to the $7.1 million Amplify is paying in federal fines, the nearly $1 million to cover county expenses, and the tentative class action settlement that's already been negotiated. On that note, I urge anyone who suffered financial loss as a result of this oil spill and has not yet been compensated to contact the Orange County District Attorney's Office to learn more about accessing restitution. I thank Orange County District Attorney Spitzer for taking the lead and putting up a system that will serve constituents, make sure those who are impacted will receive the restitution that they deserve. This oil spill should never have occurred, but pending court approval today, today's outcome marks an important step towards accountability. Others should take note, no matter the industry, from big oil to big pharma. No corporations get a free pass to break the law. If you pollute the environment, if you pollute our environment, the California Department of Justice, the Orange County District Attorney's Office will hold you accountable. Today, we proved that yet again. I want to again thank all our local, state, and federal partners for their assistance in this investigation, for their teamwork, for their ongoing efforts to clean up this environmental disaster. Again, it takes all of us working together to get the job done, and that is what we have done and what we are doing. With that, it's now my privilege and honor to hand it over to our partner here, Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Thank you. So good afternoon. I just want to explain a little bit procedurally what's happening, not behind the scenes, actually in courts, two different courts as we speak. Party litigants are in the federal court in front of Judge David Carter, dealing with the civil litigation and other actions against Amplify. And then Judge Larry Yellen in the Orange County Superior Court is waiting to take the plea, a negotiated disposition, as you heard from our Attorney General, with respect to the criminal charges that have been brought by the District Attorney's Office and the Attorney General. I was there the day the oil spill occurred, and it was absolutely devastating. I went to the command center up in Long Beach and witnessed my own eyes in the Amplify headquarters, how that was all being put together in terms of the unified command. What we know about Orange County is we have pristine coastlines, beautiful beaches. People come from all over the world to enjoy God's nature right here in this amazing county. We are so, so blessed, and from the very hour that this occurred, to have the complete and cooperation of the Attorney General's office, and Attorney General Bonta and his staff have been, in my opinion, having been involved in this from day one, have been nothing short of just a complete miracle for California, quite frankly. To have an Attorney General who is so deeply committed to protecting the community and our environment is a very, very big blessing to me as a district attorney here in one of 58 counties in California, to have him as our Attorney General here in California. I cannot thank you enough, Mr. Attorney General, and your staff has been phenomenal. Your lawyer team and investigators are second to none, and you should be very, very proud, as I know you are. I also want to acknowledge some really, really critical players. Some of them are on the podium here with me today, but some of them are actually in court. So they are not here, but they're actually working as we speak. We have Senior Assistant District Attorney Beth Costello, Assistant District Attorney Leslie Young, Supervising Investigator Lenny Washington. And Lenny, I want to point out Lenny in particular. He and Rick Bradley, Rick is not here. Rick is at a sheriff's function now, a graduation. But when I first put together my side of the team, Lenny was designated as the investigator. You'll see photos of him on the ship conducting interviews with Rick Bradley. And I have to just tell you, these investigators, they put their thumbs down. I mean, there was no holds barred with these investigators. And they made it very, very clear, side by side with the Attorney General's office, we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to figure out how it happened, what happened, and we're going to hold people accountable if necessary in this place, in this position, a corporation. I want to make something very, very clear about the facts of this case. Amplify unequivocally hit the snooze button. They knew they had a leak. Their leak detection system detected a leak. They shut down the pipeline. They started it up again. And there were 7 more instances where the alarm notified them that there was a leak. Snooze, 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 snooze. Over and over, they kept ignoring it. That is criminal. And that is why they've been charged. The Board of Supervisors, led by Katrina Foley, settled almost $1 million for cleanup, and her leadership has been just stellar, as well as Assemblywoman Cotty Petrie Norris and Senator Min. They have been phenomenal partners. And that's one thing I want everybody to appreciate. And Mr. Attorney General, I know you do. You cannot get to the bottom of these situations. You cannot solve problems. You cannot hold people accountable unless you're working together as a team. And everybody up here, and a lot more people, okay, were very instrumental in making this day happen. In fact, if you think about it, oil spill, October, plea to these criminal charges in September, that's pretty short order in terms of environmental litigation, which can go on for years. And we refuse to do that. And the settlement is significant. Not only is the Attorney General indicated one of the most significant, if not the most significant settlement on misdemeanor charges in Orange County history, but the numbers are really phenomenal. So about $3.5 million going to the state, $1.5 million to the county, and it will go to the Board of Supervisors, and it will be up to them to use that to achieve environmental justice here in Orange County. So I'm very, very proud of that. Again, this prosecution is a testament to our leadership. It's a testament to our cooperation. And I would just want to mention briefly Fish and Wildlife. They were the lead investigative agency who got us to this date. From the very hour where I went to the command center, from the time on the beach, working with my colleagues and others to figure out what was happening, Fish and Wildlife was there front and center leading this investigation. They always were there to brief the press, brief the public, brief elected officials, and they did a phenomenal job. Their leadership, again, is second to none. I'm very, very proud as a former member of the state legislature and a member of the Board of Supervisors to see this kind of stewardship by a governmental agency. So thank you very much, sir, for your leadership, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Last thing I just want to leave you with, I sent a letter to the federal government on October 11th of 2021 to the Department of Transportation, their Office of Pipeline Safety. And I asked them to demand that anybody or any entity that has a pipeline in that basin to have those pipelines immediately inspected so we could determine if there was anything that might be latent or could happen in the future, another drag by an anchor potentially, or something that might manifest itself at a much later date. I just want to let you know that irrespective of sending that letter to the Department of Transportation, we still have not received any word, and we confirmed it again yesterday, that there has been no such demand of anybody who's operating a pipeline in that basin. No one, myself as a prosecutor for this county, the Attorney General, Fish and Wildlife, no one wants to see this replicated by any other entity who's operating in the basin. So I'm just urging every single entity that is either pumping, expects to pump, is already pumping, or will pump in the future, to immediately inspect and also ensure that they don't have any damage that's just waiting there to manifest itself in such a disastrous way. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much, and thank you again for your leadership, sir.
Good afternoon. David Bess, Deputy Director and Chief of Law Enforcement with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. In response to the Amplify Energy Corporation pipeline leak and subsequent pollution event, wildlife officers from the Department of Fish and Wildlife's Office of Spill Prevention and Response led a thorough investigation, but we must acknowledge the cooperation of the Attorney General's Office, Attorney General Bonta, Orange County District Attorney Spitzer, and several other federal and local agencies within the Unified Command. Within hours of this incident being reported last October, response crews from our department mobilized to the spill site and to the incident command post. These crews included law enforcement personnel, scientists, and trained technical specialists, all of whom are specially trained in oil spill response. Investigators from our department immediately began looking into the cause of this incident and the way it was reported to state regulators. The department's wildlife officers and non-sworn pollution investigators conducted the investigation in a thorough and rigorous manner while maintaining separation from the actual cleanup response to maintain its integrity. The department's involved personnel and our partners within the Unified Command System celebrate this disposition as a win for California's natural resources. In closing, I'd like to recognize Lieutenant Corbo and Warden Garcia, both instrumental and leaders throughout the course of this investigation. Thank you.